We are live here in Tomball, Texas, at Heal Wellness Lounge. Here with Tasha, just to kind of give everyone an idea of what this place is. In my perspective, I came here maybe like 2 months ago because I saw you had a Tesla coil, and,
Right.
and I thought that was really interesting. And I came, I tested it out, see how I would feel. I got a tour of the whole place, a lot of the machines and tools that you use here for body optimization were really, really interesting. And, I sent you a message and I wanted to see if we could get on a podcast, and here we are. So Tasha, I'd like to give you an opportunity to just introduce yourself, introduce the place, what we do here, what you have here, and see how we can kind of break everything down when it comes to the science of each of these tools that you have.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. Where do we start? So originally, Heal came to me literally one night. I was just laying there thinking how stressed I was and how I needed some tools to decompress because I physically couldn't do it on my own. And my husband and I at the time were looking to invest our money into something and looking at franchise opportunities and buying existing businesses to start, so we didn't have to be our own or have to work for somebody. And why don't we just open our own wellness center? So that's kind of where it started. And it was a little over a year and a half ago now, and
when I
blossomed.
I came in and you told me that you were on a wellness journey yourself.
Yeah.
Usually that means you're dealing with something currently or just finishing on your in your journey of wellness. So what exactly were you dealing with that got you into this space?
Well, I feel like it's ever going, like we're constantly battling something. So originally it was infertility. So my husband and I were married later. Most people get married younger, and we got married the month before I turned 30. And so I was like, well, we have to jump into it like everybody else. I was like, we got to have kids. We need to do all the things in the right time. So we moved to Houston to be close to his family. We immediately started trying to have babies, and 5 years goes by and we're still not pregnant. So what's going on? Let's dig into this a little bit more. And for me, I grew up in the Y2K. That was my generation, and we partied a lot, and I drank a lot, and I smoked cigarettes, and I did all these things that we did in 1999, 2000.
Well, you got to go with a bang, right?
Yeah,
Everything was going to end, so why not?
So I destroyed my body. I did a lot of things that I shouldn't have done, and the doctors kept telling me, well, it's just idiopathic. We don't know why. You just can't get pregnant. There's no rhyme or reason. Well, that's not a good answer for me.
Right.
Yeah, there's a reason. You just have to dig deep enough and find it. So the original route that we went, let's do IVF. That's the next step typically. So let's do IVF, and did that 6 times and didn't get anywhere. So so we went back to my body. Why is my body not healthy enough to hold a baby, to have a baby? Inflammation. My inflammation markers were through the roof. So what's causing the inflammation in my body? I remember laying there a year before this journey and just thinking to myself, I got bone cancer. My bones hurt so bad. I'm too scared to go to the doctor because they're going to say, yeah, you have bone cancer, you're going to die in 6 months. It was awful. And this was all inflammation. The markers, when I finally got tested, were just like, she's like, how are you not just in excruciating pain all the time? I'm like, well, I am actually I'm just used to it because I've had it for so long. One of the things for me was gluten, but I think now in hindsight, it's not necessarily gluten, it's the glyphosate and all the chemicals that they're putting into these products that make them more easy for them to harvest and accessible to everybody that we have to feed now because nobody knows how to take care of themselves. But yeah, the glyphosate I think was a big marker for me. But we did everything. We cut out plastics in our life. No nonstick pans. We do stainless steel or cast iron. We took out all the synthetic fragrances and laundry detergent. I mean, we went down the rabbit hole. Our house is super hippie.
Now I know that we're not talking politics today.
Yeah.
But this is very important to mention that there's a lot of legislation and laws being passed when it comes to banning a lot of the things that are in our food that cause certain things like this, reproductive issues,
Yeah.
hormonal issues, and things like that. Obviously, it's hard to get around it when it's everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So.
That's why I said it's an ongoing thing.
Right.
We're constantly.
How would you say, or what would you say to someone that wants to start something like that when, again, it's everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
What's like one of the more basic things, like the first step in, going all in like you did, eliminating the plastics, using the cast iron, because it's completely flipping your life.
It is.
And everyone's used to the convenience of everything that we already have. So where would someone start, in your opinion?
So things that you're constantly putting on your body: makeup, shampoo, fragrances. God, fragrances. I can't, I just walk in places now and I want to vomit. I get a massive headache. I can't believe that Bath and Body Works is still in business. It's just so toxic. They're endocrine disruptors. They literally are killing you. But just anything that you're putting on your skin is your largest organ. You're soaking that in. Those toxins are going into your bloodstream, into your organ system. That's the first thing. Food, your diet. I mean, if you can, now it's so hard. Organic, they say, is organic and clean, but we really, unless you're growing your own food, who knows what's in it, right?
So are you currently growing your own food?
I am not. I wish I could. The time just doesn't allow. We tried it during COVID. It was great. It was fun.
What'd you grow?
All the things. Tomatoes was the most abundant.
Right.
Those are the easiest things. I just remember having so much tomatoes. I was like, I'll never eat all this tomato. But it's funny. I did get a freeze dryer and started freeze drying my foods and stuff. So,
very nice.
Yeah. But your body, obviously, what you're directly putting on it is directly impacting you. Laundry detergent. I bought we have an ozone machine for our laundry, so we don't actually put any chemicals in our laundry at all. It's just a machine that turns on when your water starts going, and it goes through the ozonator and kills all the bacteria in your clothes. It leaves it completely scentless, so you don't smell anything. It just smells like, clothes. It doesn't have
That sounds super expensive.
It's actually not. Well, I got it on Black Friday a year ago, and it was $250 or something. Mm-hmm. And you'll never have to buy laundry detergent again.
That is nice.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is because, most people that hear things like this, it's like, well, that's nice when you have money,
right,
when you can buy from, Whole Foods and this, but we got to go, get that $5 meal from here and all of that.
But into government and politics again. It's, we can get into that, but I totally think they're purposefully suppressing our lower class citizens and making them to where they can only get unhealthy things, which is horrible. But yeah, I don't want to get into that.
So when it comes to things that we put on our body, the chemicals that leach into our skin and eventually into our bloodstream, even down to our DNA, which makes up everything,
right,
that can tear
Methylation.
down. Do you have any formal training or education?
No.
How exactly did you start to learn this, and what kind of set that off? I know you said the
infertility.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think motherhood and the journey of becoming a mother for me, and I think most women, when you're really passionate about something, you do a lot of research on it. So I feel like for me, for instance, versus a doctor that may be specializing in this, they got their formal training, but I've done so much research in what I believe to be best for me and my health. But no, I have no training, absolutely none at all. I've thought about taking some just courses just to have an actual certificate so I can say I'm a health coach or whatever, but it's not worth it in my opinion. So just lots and lots of research. We talked about earlier in the vibroacoustic, my brain does not know how to shut off. So I'll lay in bed and think, okay, this is something that's going on with me right now. What can I do to fix it? And I'll just get up and get my phone and just start researching. And I get in a rabbit hole, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still not asleep. I try not to do that anymore, but that has been like my life for 10 years, basically. So,
right. Some of the you were gracious enough to give me just a quick tour of the place and all the equipment that you have. Could you kind of talk about some of the things that you have. For example, we can start off with the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so that's our newest product. We just got that. I always wanted a hyperbaric chamber. That was always in our game plan, in our business plan. Actually, just found our business plan when I was cleaning out some stuff, which really kind of cool. And so that was always there, and then just money, and then I told you about the incident that happened in Detroit with a medical grade chamber, so that kind of just like paused it.
So can you repeat what that was just for the listener?
Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah. So medical grade hyperbaric chambers are a 3.0 atmospheric pressure. Every atmospheric pressure is 33 feet below sea level. So to get to 3.0, you have to have one of 14 different conditions in order to have a doctor to write that off and for you to use it. And this is in a medical setting. It has to be doctor supervised. All of the things that we do here, you can buy for your own home if you've got a ton of money laying around. But this is not ours is it's called a variable chamber. It goes from 1.3 to 2.0 atmospheric pressure. And it's for general wellness, but it can be very, very beneficial for a lot of diseases, autoimmune, traumatic brain injury, cancer, things like that.
So if you wanted to, or if you could, please dumb it down. And what exactly is happening in the body in that condition or in that setting?
So it's pressurized ours is a medical grade is pressurized 100% oxygen. So that 99.9% oxygen. Our air that we're around right now is at like a 30%, 20 to 30% is the oxygen in our air right now. It's carbon dioxide, oxygen mixture. So in our chamber, it's just pressurizing the outside air. So we're not getting 100% oxygen pressurized in one chamber. But the oxygen that is in the chamber is still very beneficial. It's forcing that oxygen into your body, into your bloodstream, and then you're inhaling 99% oxygen. So this is going down to a mitochondrial level, and it's just helping. Literally, I mean, the benefits are astronomical. There's anytime you get blood flow into places that aren't getting good blood flow, it's going to improve whatever that is, whatever that condition is. So if you have an ailment, it's targeting that first. If you don't have anything wrong with you, you're going to sleep better, you're going to feel better, you have more energy.
Let's say someone had a condition like a terrible condition like lupus, for example. How many sessions do you think it would take to see like a noticeable difference with something that serious?
Yeah, so 30 sessions is kind of like our rule of thumb. Like if you don't see any kind of improvement within 30 sessions, then maybe it's not it's not working. It's just going to take a lot more sessions. But with mild conditions, like for me, I'm doing mold detox right now. 30 sessions, I most likely will be completely clear of mold. It's very powerful.
You told me that coming in when I was in here. What exactly is happening? Because that might be a common issue that people might not know.
It's a very common issue, and it's prevalent, and it's everywhere, and it's a hidden, awful thing.
What kind of mold is it exactly?
Ours is a toxic mold. So there's two main toxic molds. There's that most people know is black mold. That's Stachybotrys, or I think that's how you say it. And then there's Chadium, which is what we have. And Chadium's been linked as a carcinogenic, so it's been linked to cancer.
So how does that actually manifest in your home?
Yeah, so water, any kind of water source creates mold, toxic mold.
So is it safe to say that most people have that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's unfortunate. So we bought our house 5 years ago during COVID, and recently, whoever had the house before us just put in new carpet, they did like a lipstick on a pig kind of thing. I'm very bitter about this. And it looks great. I'm in a bunch of these Facebook groups, and every single person says, you can't tell, it looks so perfect on the outside. And then you start doing the air samples and the ERMI tests and all these, and you're like, where is this coming from? And the exploration is what gets costly. Like, okay, I think it's in our bedroom, but where? So you have to open up all the walls. You have to remove all. Ours was a lot more prevalent, so it wasn't like we're investigating. I pulled up our carpet and it's completely black underneath it.
Oh, wow.
So I had been having massive migraines, and I chalked it up to, oh, it's perimenopause. I'm 43. This is a symptom that some women get. I have a wellness center. I can fix it, right? It didn't. I was getting continuously worse. I had chronic UTIs, who would have thought associated UTIs and mold, and I've found out that that's actually a very common symptom. No idea. Migraines. I had pneumonia. I think I told you about that with the salt chamber. I had pneumonia. I was like, I'm so healthy. I've always had really strong lungs, strong heart, low blood pressure, like all these really, been really healthy in general besides the inflammation. And chronic sinus infections, all these things that just weren't adding up. My kids, that was kind of the breaking point for me. I have at the time, he was 5 and a 6-year-old. And they started regressing significantly. They were having severe anxiety, like fear of dying. Like, where does this come from? They were anger, like just snapping and just being super angry, and like all these really weird symptoms that, if we get into it, we didn't vaccinate. We're super non-toxic. They get organic grass-fed meat and foods and like no synthetic fibers. I mean, they're super healthy, like as far as, aside from putting them in a bubble, they're like as healthy as you can be. So there had to have been something that was triggering this, and I couldn't figure it out. And then we finally, right before Thanksgiving, we were on our way out. We go camping a lot. My son's birthday is on Thanksgiving, and I woke up just massive headache. It's hard for me to like even open my eyes. And I said, well, I told my husband, I've been telling him for a year, I was like, there's mold in here, and I could smell it. I was like, there's mold in here, and I was like pointing to our bed. I was like, it's right here. I started pulling my covers apart, like my pillow. I'm like, maybe it's in our pillow. So he's like angry. He's like, we gotta go, and he gets a little aggressive, and he just pulls. Our bed is super heavy. It's a latex organic mattress. Again, all synthetic, non-synthetic, super healthy stuff, and it weighs a gazillion pounds. And he pulls it out, and then he feels the carpet right below where my head is, and it's moist, it's wet, it's damp. And then he pulls it back, and he could see just black underneath it. And I was like, literally, like I told you, like I was just so relieved that it was there, but also pissed, right?
Right.
So he cuts this little tiny piece out, thinking, oh, this just it, and we go on about our way and come back, and then he explores more. We take our bedroom out, our stuff out. And he's pulling the carpet back, and every foot he pulls back, it's just black and black and black. And so the whole entire bedroom, the whole floor was black. And then we had a mold guy come after the fact. Don't do it this way, by the way. So he tested. I had him test all of my theory where it could be, because I feel like I smelt it. I think my nose is pretty sensitive now. Now I feel like I can smell it anywhere. Like, oh, this place has mold. It's really weird. So I had him test our bedroom, the dining room, kitchen, and the kids' room upstairs, because I was just concerned for cross-contamination. And it was in all of those rooms. So a remediation company came, and they found it in all of our walls in our bedroom, the floor, obviously, the insulation, my closet, the bathroom, dining room, floor. Everywhere.
Yep.
And it was awful. And it's in our air ducts. People don't think about that. So we're just circulating this toxic mycotoxins in our air, and we're breathing it in. And their symptoms are just so random. It's sinus infections. Okay, everybody gets sinus infections, but what's causing your sinus infection? It's not a virus. It's not a cold. It's just okay, now I know mold's triggering that. The anger and aggression, the anxiety, all these random things that people don't attribute to mold are literally causing so much havoc on people, and they just have no idea.
So what exactly do they have to do to get rid of it? Just
you have to remove the water source.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So our water source was our house had French drains around the side of it that were clogged. They were full of dirt, and they were. So the way our grading was in our land or in our yard was pushing the water towards our foundation. And They said the concrete is like a sponge, so it just soaks once that water penetrated the concrete, it just soaks it up and it just keeps going and going and going and going. So when they're remediating, they had to just keep going and finding to where it stopped, and it was literally like half of our bottom floor of our house. So removing the water source is step one, and then you just have to cut everything out, clean everything properly. Right now we're in our step where we just got a certification back that it's less spores or less than the allotted amount to get a clean write-off. So if we sold our house, we could say we did remediation, here's our certificate. But now our house is just looks like worse than a tornado could have gone through it. It's just destroyed. All of our stuff that we own is just piled into our living room. It's horrible.
Like I said before, the cost of a lot of these treatments and just renovating your house essentially, is impossible for a lot of people. It
is for us too. Yeah.
And a question was, do you think that an air purifier maybe might reduce or even eliminate that kind of a thing?
If it's undisturbed, which is
because that might be a little bit more affordable than renovating your house. And
you can get an air purifier for sure. We actually had some really nice big ones. So Mark, my husband, background of him, he does water treatment, and during COVID, they added into their lineup of water stuff the air purifiers. These air purifiers were like the HEPA filter was so fine or whatever that it could filter out the COVID vaccine, or not vaccine, the COVID virus. Man-made virus. So that we had those in our house, but I wasn't good at keeping up with the filters are $100 a piece or something. So I don't think I ever changed the filters on those. That's my bad.
Sorry. The last episode I mentioned that virus that you just said that I'm not going to name. They took my video down, so I hope they're done with all that. I might have to edit that one out. But I should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, we won't talk about it just because I don't want to get my video deleted for some reason. But anyways. Just moving on to some of the other treatments that you have. We were talking a little bit about the UFC because of my shirt.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that a very famous fighter that is fighting now, Ilia Topuria, uses a certain type of treatment that you have here.
Yeah.
So can you kind of talk about what that is exactly? I haven't tried it yet. I'd love to.
Yes, but I will definitely hook you up on that. So it's called a V-Light. There's different ways to say it. I'm not sure exactly how you say it. But the brain one, there's a vagus nerve and then the brain one, and it's uses. You've heard of there's a huge trend right now with the vagal nerve, Pulsetto's one. Those are stimulators that are physically kind of think of a TENS unit on your vagal nerve. It's like electric.
So what's the function with that vagal nerve? What is it?
That's your brain body connection. Okay. So the reason like a UFC fighter or Olympians use them, a lot of athletes use them. It's their hand-eye coordination. So the brain that's your brain's thinking something, but you got to get your arm to use it to do that motion. So that's your brain body connection, your nervous system.
So it's kind of like an optic fiber. It's just faster speed, right?
Exactly. So that's that's what is controlling that connection between your brain and body and your nervous system, basically. So vagus nerve is one. So that it doesn't use an electric stimulation. It actually uses infrared light. So that goes into the nerve and calms it or relaxes it enough to give it that stimulation to have the better connection. And then the brain one is 1,040 wavelength of the infrared, and it has two different settings. It has an alpha and a gamma. Alpha is calming. You're not theta. Theta is sleeping, but just like after you wake up and you're just in a great, calm mood, that's your kind of alpha wavelength. And then the gamma is stimulating. So the UFC fighters, for instance, they'll use it pre-game, match or whatever in the gamma setting to give them that extra stimulation. And then when they get hit in the head 50 times, they're going to use that alpha that'll help with actually concussions, traumatic brain injuries, Alzheimer, dementia. It's very, it helps a lot. It helps a lot with all of that. Sorry, I got distracted.
It's okay. Yeah, we're still we're doing this during business hours, so we might have to cut it off at any time. But I think one of the things that you mentioned that is your favorite here is that that light. I don't know what it's called.
Psychedelic light therapy.
Psychedelic light therapy. Yes. Okay, tell me about that.
Okay, so it's a combination of the two. You can do the psychedelic light therapy by itself, and you can do the bed by itself. But the combination of the two is it's imperative for anybody that's on a healing journey. So your body, most people's body are in fight or flight a lot of the times. A lot throughout the day. They're just the stress of being an American that's working 9 to 5 and has kids and doing all the things. We're just always constantly stressed out. So for me, I own my own commercial real estate brokerage. I had 2 young kids at an older age. There's just a lot going on in my life, and I needed to calm myself down, and I couldn't do it naturally on my own. I'm very bad at meditating. As much as I want to be a super hippie and like just sit there and ohm and be like, I can't do it. There's a lot of people that can. I just can't do it. So this forces you into that meditative, that parasympathetic state and gets you out of the fight or flight. So it works by you're laying on a bed. It's like you remember Bason back of the day. You're probably old enough, but back in the day, really people were the biggest speakers that they could get in the trunk of their car and behind the seats, and just you feel it,
right.
Like it's just moving your whole body. So it's amps. There's 8 amps in this bed, and those are vibrating, and you're listening to a frequency, a meditation. There's different ones. There's different kind of meditations, and then the weighted blanket to me, I think just is kind of like the icing on top. So that the pressure from the weighted blanket, the vibration from the bed, and then the meditation, and then the cherry on top is that psychedelic light. So for you and I, when we look at it, it's just a white light, and it's like a strobe light. But when your eyes are closed and you're in this bed, your brain is visualizing just like colors and shapes and mandalas, and it's just literally stimulating a psychedelic trip. So it looks like what you would see when you're doing mushrooms or acid or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you're focusing on that, and that means you're not thinking about anything else. And then it puts 90% of the people that are really super high strung, it knocks them out. They fall asleep because their body's just done.
Weird question, but have you ever had anybody actually take some exogenous substances and use this?
I can't say for certain, but yes,
Allegedly.
I think so. Yeah, allegedly. So like microdosing, that would be awesome to just do a little small microdose and enjoy it.
You're talking about something that is becoming more mainstream and at the forefront of science.
Yeah.
What they used to call pseudoscience when it came to red light and sound, and that was all hippy dippy and all that stuff. But now it's coming to popular culture. For example, something that people are suggesting now with Egypt and the pyramids is that they use a lot of like sound. Acoustic tools for movement and all that kind of stuff. People are now understanding that certain wavelengths, certain hertz of music can affect your brain in certain ways.
Absolutely.
What would you say? What would you say is most important when it comes to the kind of vibration that you're around? For example, what kind of waves are these giving off? I think the hertz, like the of the universe is like 432 hertz,
right,
or something like that. What does a machine like that emit, and what exactly does it do to the body?
Yeah, so I can't get really into the science behind that, but I know like our amp coil, I haven't showed you that. Our amp coil is a modified Tesla coil that uses magnetic and sound frequencies, so the hertz that we were talking about, and this is one of the older pieces of equipment that we have here. It's been around, I think, 15 years. So they were one of the first people to do, like Rife machines, you've probably heard of.
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so amp coil is a little bit more, I would say, fine-tuned. But Rife, back then, it was more fine-tuned. Rife machines now are getting more elevated. But it uses frequencies, and each frequency, it has all these different journeys. So like your organ system, so it's like your heart to what's the right word I'm looking for? Better your heart. There's a better word I'm looking for. But to make your heart better, there's a frequency that helps that. So they've figured out, based on their tons of research, that tuning it to this frequency and playing it with this magnetic adjustments or whatever, and this PEMF thing, that it's gonna, your heart circulation and all that is going to get better. But it has so many different journeys. It has sleep. It has detoxing. There's a mold fungus one on there that I've been doing. Hormone harmony, it's my favorite, even not relation to like your periods, but actual like your pineal gland and your hypothalamus and all of the things that control our hormones, that even for men, and testosterone and all that. It makes you feel better in general. So your stomach, like we've had some people come in that have had gastrointestinal issues, like some viral issues, and we did a stomach bug went on them, and they immediately feel better, and they stopped having like the diarrhea symptoms and stuff. So it's crazy, but they found like you literally can put a cell under a microscope, play a certain frequency, and that cell will move and it will change and it will adapt to that. It's really cool. It's fascinating stuff.
That's really interesting. And I'm thinking, you have so many things that help, and obviously the majority of Americans, they're in bad health.
Yeah,
the majority.
Unfortunately,
the majority. What do you think are some of the worst things that the average person uses that they should probably limit? Because we're not going to eliminate phones. I mean, we know phones emit blue light, and most people, whenever they go home. There's a really good
app on that. I'll show you too.
There's an app for that?
There's an app that.
There's an app for everything.
There's an app that turns your screen, everything that you look at, red.
Red. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I should turn it on.
I think earbuds are a detriment, and we can actually probably pull this up on your thing. There was a study that just came out that's linked 100%. They've now determined that the earbuds are causing cognitive decline in people. So they're showing that this EMF that you have literally as close as you can get to your brain is actually causing people to have.
Go back a little bit. EMF, you're talking about electromagnetic field in your brain?
In your earbuds, because they're Bluetooth.
Oh, so in the earbuds themselves.
You're using Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all of this stuff, and then you have them as close as you can to your brain. I think that is going to be. I think we're going to see a lot more cancers and things that are going to come out eventually from that. But
so here's just a quick video. We're kind of low scale right now. I usually have my laptop, but we're just going to look at on the phone. We have Huberman here, who has one of the top podcasts, and he's in this field of human optimization.
Yeah.
So we'll just quickly, just so everyone can hear what exactly is going on. Okay, I thought that was going to be connected. Give me 1 second.
That's okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, EMFs, one thing that I do while you're pulling that up, that's an easy thing that I think everybody right now should do. You can buy, you probably already have them at home.
Wired.
The lights.
Asked a lot about the safety.
Sorry.
The Christmas light timer. They're like $9.
Timer.
They're $9 on Amazon, maybe $5. You probably find them. It's a timer that you plug your Christmas lights into, and automatically you'll turn them on at 6 p.m. and turn them back off at 12 at midnight. We plug our Wi-Fi router into that and have it turn off automatically at 11 p.m. and then turn back on at 6 a.m. So when we're sleeping, we're not getting all those Wi-Fi emittance into us while we're sleeping. We're healing while we're sleeping. So it's the cheapest, easiest fix, just turning your Wi-Fi off instead of actually going over there, unplugging it, or turning your phone on airplane mode. Even though your phone's on airplane mode, your Wi-Fi router is still working.
Sure.
So
while we're on the topic of wavelengths, this is a big topic that was probably really big in 2020, 2021. Obviously, the virus we were talking about, don't want to mention it.
5G.
It's like, yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think it's awful. I mean, I've gone down the rabbit hole. I definitely think there's a lot more to it than 5G. I mean, I think there's.
Do you think it's more? Obviously, you think it's more harm than good, but does it work?
Well, from my understanding, it's shorter wavelengths, right, than the 4G. 4G can go longer, but shorter wave. So just like our how the light wavelength works in our photobiomodulation bed, when it's pulsing. When that light is pulsing, it's getting deeper into the tissue in the photobiomodulation. But 5G and whatever else that's out there, I'm assuming, is also doing that same thing. So it's a shorter wavelength, but it's got to be more harmful. I mean, if you think of things in that terms, there's no doubt about it. I'm sure that we'll find some stuff out.
So going back to the to that video that we were talking about, the Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's just see what they have to say.
Okay.
I get asked a lot about the safety or lack thereof of Bluetooth headphones. Do you use Bluetooth headphones or wired headphones?
Yeah, Bluetooth.
And you're not worried about any kind of EMF fields across the skull?
No, I mean, I think the energy levels involved are so tiny that, ionizing radiation aside, we're way out of the realm of ionizing radiation that people would worry about, tumor-causing EMF fields. Even just the electromagnetic field itself, as is very well described in a Bluetooth frequency range, the power levels are tiny in these devices. And so, we are awash in these signals, whether you use Bluetooth headphones or not. For that matter, you're getting bombarded with ionizing radiation in a very tiny amount, no matter where you live on Earth, unless you live under huge amounts of water. It's unavoidable.
I get asked.
Well, that's the key. And it's unavoidable.
So what did he say exactly? That it did or didn't harm?
Who is that? Do you know who that is? He's got on his...
Some bum. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, but I think it's really interesting. I was listening to Elon and Rogan. I think they were talking about the capacity or the expansion of the amount of power that solar power can generate. For example, why don't we just have a solar powered car? Well, it's just not enough energy.
Right.
And he's saying, Rogan was saying, can't we just, continue in science and expand it and make it better? He's like, no, but that's the most it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And then he asked about phones and radiation and 5G. And Elon Musk said that, well, you can make a headphone, helmet made entirely of phones, and you'll be fine. He said you'd be fine.
Well, I mean, they're all about technology and advancement and AI and all of the things. And
so you're saying that
I can agree to disagree. I think it's going to catch up with people, but yeah, I mean, obviously everybody likes having convenience, and nobody wants to say that this awesome device is really convenient, easy for me to use, is going to cause harm to me. It's super hard for people to get around that, right?
Speaking of Musk, do you think something like Starlink has any sort of effect on us?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. The whole satellite thing in general, and the moon, and we can really do a whole podcast on that.
On what, the moon?
Oh my God. Well, okay, you talked about Egypt earlier, like ancient Egypt and ancient apocalypse and the moon and going to the moon, and why can't we go to the moon now? Like, it's just a whole, yeah. I've gone down that rabbit hole too, but
I might have to come back. But what are you saying?
There's yeah. We'll just save that.
Let's give that okay.
Save that for another day.
What other kind of equipment do you have here that could help people that we just haven't covered yet?
Well, let's go back to EMF, because one of the main things that I did when we chose some of these, or chose all of our equipment, was I wanted to make sure that it was safe when you're laying in a piece of equipment for 30 minutes, that it's not radiating these harmful EMFs. There are a lot of companies, I'm not going to say anything, but there are a lot of wellness centers that are popping up that are just buying the cheapest thing that they can get, and while it looks the same, you can get a red light bed that looks like ours, that's exactly the same. It's a quarter of the price, straight from China, from Alibaba, whatever. When you put an EMF meter to it, it's crazy. When you actually do the light level meters on it, to show the light levels and what they're supposed to be, they're not accurate. So we did spend a lot of time making sure that these are low level, low EMFs, high quality machines. They're getting, like our photobiomodulation bed, Paris Hilton has ours. So not that a lot of people don't know who she is, but she's got a lot of money. She has a team that are behind her to help her pick out these things, to get the right things. The wavelengths are accurate. The EMF is non-existent. You're getting super high powerful red light therapy. You can do a session. The session length's 8 minutes. The masks that people have, the little panels that people have, like, to get the same amount of therapy that you're getting in our bed would take you, hours to get. So you can get the same treatment in 8 minutes laying in our bed. But all of the stuff we made sure was super low EMF, high quality. We went a little overboard, if I'm going to be honest with you, on some of the equipment. It's very expensive, but we wanted the best quality stuff. So,
have you ever heard about? Of course, you have Faraday, like a Faraday box.
Yeah.
Can you kind of explain that for people, because it seems that it would be a sort of protection for EMF producing devices, right?
So we have a Faraday blanket at our house that I put around our smart meters that are on our homes now. So you can't get away from these smart meters, but they're just radiating this like super high level of EMF. But there's things that you could do. You can put an EMF around your actual Wi-Fi router. There's like Gary Brecka. They'll sleep in Faraday tents. So they'll put themselves in a tent. Your body can't heal if you're getting these microwave waves or radiations or EMF waves that are just constantly bombarding you. Your body needs time to just disconnect. And I think they are important. I think people need to spend a little bit more time.
Do you think people are getting away or not paying attention to what's going on and getting attracted to different devices that might be harming them? Or do you think a lot more people are becoming more aware of these things and then searching for these alternative methods of recovery?
I think we're seeing definite trend of more wellness-centric, for sure. There's a lot more products now than there was even a year ago. When I was looking for, I have Aries Tech, and I usually have it on, but it's in my mold house, so I don't have it.
The mold house.
Yeah, the toxic house. The Aries Tech, have you heard of this brand? They're little,
I think.
I have some in the back, I can show you.
What is it?
They're just little EMF. They are... supposedly they're FDA, I think they're FDA approved, like they've proven it, but they like absorb the EMFs that are around you. So rather than blocking it, it's absorbing it, so your body's not absorbing it.
What's it made of?
I could not tell you, but they're really cool little. That you can have like one in the room with you.
I can.
Yeah, look it up.
Just for the purpose of not getting up and.
It's AIERES, I think, Aries Tech.
What was it?
AIER. Or no, ARIES. Yeah, there you go. Aries Tech EMF. Here we go. So they look like this.
Okay.
Yeah. But let me see if I can look up what they reduce harmful effects of electromagnetic frequencies. But they basically do. They just.
What's it made of?
Yeah. Let's look at that. Let's look that up. I think they're going to say it's some secret. You know, they don't want people, proprietary ingredients. I don't know. Our technology.
Material.
Yeah. Anyway, so the EMF, there's a brand called Haven now that's got wearable Faraday clothes. Great for that, like airplanes, because you're getting a lot of EMF on airplanes. So you can wear the beanies or the hats or the T-shirts. Gary Brecka's a big proponent of those too. Speaking
of materials, proprietary blends and everything like that, we were talking about setting a new piece here, and I had suggested maybe like a large crystal.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of materials, I know you said you are a big fan of crystals, and
Tourmaline.
a lot of people may roll their eyes. Here we go with the crystals.
Yeah.
Do you think or do you know if each of these types of materials emit a certain frequency or wavelength
I'm
or anything
sure.
like that?
I don't know the scientific stuff about it, but like tourmaline is a crystal that is absorbing, that's similar to how these Aries Tech works. So I had like a basket of tourmaline next to my bed when I slept at night, but that's like a really good absorbing. Selenite, we have selenite here. It's the white ones. You can see it up there. Those also help with just like purifying the air and clearing things.
What's that purple one?
Amethyst.
I used to have a little.
Yeah.
What does that do?
I got a crystal book right there. We can look it up. They all have different properties, and you got to you can charge your crystals in the sunlight, and they help just holding them. And there's different ones that you can do that help with like stress and anxiety and different things like that. So, but yeah, there's this didn't say that, but Aries Tech, Haven, there's a bunch of different.
It's probably something super cheap that you can find.
Resonator chip, yeah. There's some chips. It's proprietary.
Copper,
I'm
probably.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like it has copper.
And it has like a geometric shape as well. Maybe that's.
There's some really cool geometric shape things that. What is it called? There's a thing that we were gonna get that I really wanted here, and you sit in this recliner, and it has these 4 like copper things that surround you, and this light, and you hold these rods. Am I too far away?
A little bit.
you hold the copper rods and what is it called? Tachyon chamber. Look tachyon chamber up. It's super cool.
I know it's in my brain somewhere, but I just can't pull it up. Let me go to YouTube. Tachyon chamber.
Tachyon chamber. It's and I think it has something to do like how the geometric shapes work.
I'm seeing a bunch of kooky.
Yeah, I've done it.
I'm gonna do just a YouTube short.
I felt amazing afterwards. I don't know what
Tachyon chambers, its products and tachyons have an extraordinary calming and harmonizing effect. They have been given to us by the Pleiadians for advanced healing.
Okay, now
they can
ancient
harmonize
Egypt.
completely all energy
That's ancient
fields
Egypt?
that are a
I think
result
that
of gravity,
technology probably goes back.
electromagnetism, and weak nuclear force.
This
This
here we
reflects
go.
practically
See?
in multitude
aliens.
of ways.
Dude.
Tachyon energy harmonizes and enlivens the energy matrix, which shapes all matter, and thus also our mental, emotional, etheric, and physical bodies. All this affects
These chambers
greatly
are
our
like
physical health and well-being.
$100,000.
When you say
crazy.
chamber, you're
Harmonizes
talking about
all
something as big as.
electromagnetic
It's a
emissions.
room that you convert a whole room into this frequency energy guiding thing, and it's got all these copper
Tachyon
holes and-
chambers.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's really cool. But I've done it, and I really, really felt amazing afterwards. It was great. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or not. I like to believe that it's working, just like all the things that I have here. I think that they're working. So it's something hopefully we can add in the future for sure.
So besides these large machines and lights and everything else, there's been a sudden surge of I'm going to say chemicals or substances that people have started taking, maybe for the worse, the GLP-1s, things like that. Obviously,
Peptides.
Yeah, the peptides, for weight loss, but it's now it's been looked at, and it seems that it's a reduction of everything else too, not just your body fat. It's a reduction of your bone mass and everything else. But that's not my question. My question is, do you take anything such as, let's say, for example, NAD? NAD is a big one.
Oh yeah.
What kind of things are you doing currently that you feel are working?
Well, I'm doing a lot of detoxing stuff right now. So glutathione is great. NAD for cellular recovery and repair. There's a parasite and heavy metal cleanse that we have here. I pair it with the sauna, which is fantastic for detoxing.
What is it? Is it a drink or?
It's a tincture. So it's got,
like a drop.
it's all natural stuff. It's like wormwood and walnut husk and all these different things parasites is a whole nother thing too. Like we've got mold, you've got heavy metals, but parasites, the United States is like the only country in the world that doesn't do regular parasite cleanses, which makes absolutely no sense at all. It's if you eat meat, even if you don't eat meat, kids are playing in dirt, eating their fingernails, and they're getting tapeworms and getting parasites. It's just, and they're just sucking up your nutrients, and that's causing all these, all sorts of problems too.
Yeah, and I personally got into the deparasitic pills and things like that. But you have to get these things from Mexico, and no one here talks about that. And like you said, it's not common, and it should be.
Yeah.
It should be, and it makes a lot of sense.
Ivermectin. Get into that too, but yeah.
I wonder if this video will get pulled down.
No,
no, it's out in the atmosphere.
I know
now.
it's a parasite cleanse, and so animals take it. I think humans should too, but whatever.
Yeah. Do you take that now?
Not currently. I just did the one. I'm finished with that. I'll start a different protocol. Now I just started. Symbiotica is a really nice brand that we carry, and they have. It's an essential oil blend. It's really cool. It smells amazing. Parasite and gut rebuilder, like all in one pill. We'll see how. I'm just trying things out and seeing what works and doesn't work, and so what I can recommend to people and not kind of.
What do you see on the horizon when it comes to either large equipment like you have now, maybe supplements, tinctures, anything like that? What's on the horizon when it comes to the next level of human optimization?
So you briefly discussed peptides, and I do want to circle back to that. Peptides, I think, can be good with the right person. So like the Game Day Health guy, what is his name? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Game Day Health. No, I don't think so.
He's been the one that's going to all of the legislature and saying, hey, peptides are good, but we can't just have, random Joe Blow that's opening up a store and just passing out GLP-1s like it's candy. It needs to be pharmaceutical, like regulated, and paired with the other, right? So if you're doing GLP-1, you need to do another peptide to keep your muscle mass, and you need to do another one for this. Like they need to be paired up correctly and dosed properly, and start out and titrate up, and not just go like, here's 1,000 milligrams of GLP-1 as soon as you start it. It needs to be properly regulated, and not every Joe Blow in the world that has any kind of medical degree that can just give it, hand it out. But yeah, my husband uses peptides. He gets injured a lot. BP 157. There's another one that he uses, and it's a game changer for him. He was actually going to go to Mexico and do stem cells because he was so injured. His shoulder. He was worried he was going to have surgery. He's like, I'm not going to do surgery. I'm just going to go get some stem cell injections from Mexico. And then his testosterone doctor's like, hey, we'll try these different peptides that you can directly put into your muscle where the tissue is injured. And he got better. It took a couple weeks.
Speaking of stem cells, how close do you think we are for it to become a lot more commonplace? Because I know there's a place in Austin, what's it called?
Yeah, there's that big wellness.
Get something well,
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But anyways,
that's the Game Day Health. That's the
guy.
That's the guy.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
then
so
I do know him.
He's the guy that is doing the legislation for
Okay.
Ways to Well.
Ways to Well.
Not
that's
Game Day Health. Ways to Well. You're right. I was saying the wrong guy.
Ways to Well. Yeah, and I saw it. I actually went to Austin recently. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yes, yeah.
But
so he's making strides for sure. Our hyperbaric chamber stimulates your body to produce stem cells. So your body obviously is constantly, you can come in, is constantly rejuvenating cells. Like every 84 days we're producing, it's a new body. Our cells are completely new in 84 days. So using synthetic things like stem cell injections, EBO is another one, which is really cool. Hyperbaric therapy, these different things that can get rid of the zombie cells, those cancer cells that we don't want, and give us nice, new, healthy cells. That's what the longevity and the biohacking thing is all about, is having healthy, clean, new cells, and how we get those is...
So those clean, healthy, new cells, sometimes they might have neighbors, the zombie cells.
Right.
Do you do any sort of fasting?
No.
You're aware though.
I am aware, very much aware of it. My husband he's the exercise, the fasting. He's like, you can kill anything and any disease by fasting for 7 days. Like, and exercise fixes everything. So I aim to be like my husband. No, he's gonna see this and say, what? Yeah. No, he is, and he also is a big proponent that exercise solves a lot of issues, anxiety and depression.
Absolutely.
Muscle, the stronger your hands are, the longer you can hang on a bar, you're living longer. They've determined that like your arm strength and your hand strength is going to show how you're going to live a lot longer than somebody that's weak and sedentary. And I get it. I totally get it. And I want to do that. And I aim to be like that. I just, in my head I am, but I just can't do it.
Yeah. And it seems so, when you take a look at it, like meditation and just exercise and things like that, from someone that doesn't do it, it seems like, it's just so easy. It's because they're that way. They're relaxed. They've always been that way. But the fact of the matter is, these things take discipline.
It does.
You have to make that conscious effort I'm going to sit down. I'm not going to look at my phone, doom scroll about Venezuela being bombed
right.
and now we get different wars. Hold on. You can't do anything about that right now. But what you can do is take a seat, relax for a good 10 minutes, listen to some nice frequencies, and just breathe. That's 100%. Before getting into any of that. What are some? I know I covered this before, but these are complex pieces of equipment that you have here.
Yeah.
And they do work. Apart from the commonplace medications that most Americans are on. What are some like common things? I already mentioned some. What are some common steps, common things that people can get started with? Before they get overwhelmed with PEMF and red light and all this other stuff?
Well, so our body was designed to be able to heal itself. we're all capable of healing ourselves. It's given the right tools, going outside like we talked about earlier, and grounding, getting sunlight, having the right minerals. It's cheap. All that is free. Looking at the sun when you first wake up, being hydrated. These are all things that you can do for nothing. Eating properly, exercising, right? Turning off your Wi-Fi, not doom scrolling, all this stuff, positive mental attitude are all free. You can do all of that for free. But inexpensive, like we have membership options here, in my opinion, that are inexpensive comparatively to other wellness centers. Mm-hmm. So it ends up being like $5 a session or something. It's super cheap, in relatively. But you can do, the red light is fantastic I've recently been doing it. I do it so often, but now like the last, 10 times that I've done it, I can physically feel my blood circulating. I can feel my blood flow in my back and my butt going up and down. So my vasodilation is so open and just the blood is moving. And when you have blood moving to your cells and your organs, you're just going to feel better. It's just naturally going to feel better. So the red light therapy, the sauna, just detoxing. I saw a podcast recently where somebody tested their sweat from a sauna, and then the next day they went outside. There was chemtrails everywhere. We can get into this later too. There was chemtrails everywhere. So he spent the day outside. He was hiking or something. The next day he's like, okay, I want to test my sweat again. Let's see what it is. And sure enough, his sweat was barium and all these metals and stuff that people are finding that are in our earth now, sporadically coming from nowhere. We don't know where, but yeah. So
that's for the next episode.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're constantly. It's the problem is there's no way you can in our day and age just not be bombarded with stuff with chemicals and toxins and.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this episode, you mentioned your memberships and all that. So I'd like to give you the opportunity just to kind of, how to where are we?
Yeah.
How do people find you? How do they find you personally if you want to, put that out there? Sure. And, how can people get started with a membership here or even try something here?
Thank you. So yeah, our membership, we have core memberships that are 20 sessions that are in.
Can you stop for a second? What's that sound?
I don't know.
You hear that?
Yeah, ticking. I thought it was you.
Oh, it's the. I think it's the PEMF or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
Somebody's doing it.
That's okay.
So that's yeah. I do hear it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Our member.
Do you think it's coming because it's like some sort of like a wavelinth or something, and it's like picking this up? Because these are supposed to be
electromagnetic frequency. Yeah.
Oh, so
it is.
I'm sorry for the listener if you're hearing this, but now you know it's working.
Yeah.
But sorry.
No, that's okay. So our core membership, you get red light, sauna, vibroacoustic, cryotherapy. We didn't talk about that. It's whole body cryo. The brain and vagus nerves, which we did talk about, compression. So however you want to use your.
You had a lymphatic one as well. Mm-hmm. That's a really important one. I didn't want you to leave that one out.
Yeah. We have, so from that all the way to like an elite level membership that includes hyperbaric and the lymphatic suit that you just talked about, the super ultimate detox. But we have something for everyone. We have drop-in sessions. You can just come in and try some things out. A lot of people like to do like a day pass, see what they like and don't like, and yeah.
So what's your website?
healwellnesslounge.com.
Easy as that. Easy. What about any of your socials so people can? Instagram,
I think it's just Heal Wellness Lounge also. Maybe there's underscores in there. Okay. But yeah. We're in Tomball near Creekside. We have a lot of people in the Creekside area that come. We have people from Cypress, Spring. I think we feel like we're in a good triangle. We got Spring, the Woodlands, and Tomball right in between. So I'm happy with the location.
Excellent. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day. I know we've been talking about this for like 2 months or 3 months or something.
Yeah,
finally got down here, and I just knew it was going to be interesting because just look around. We got the little thing spinning around. I don't know how that thing is still going.
It's kinetic. There's no electricity. So it's kinetic.
And I'm sure we have plenty to talk about with ancient Egypt, and
we can geek out on that anytime. I love it.
Awesome. And whenever we can get your husband down here and expand even more on human
Yeah,
optimization.
yeah.
I think that'd be really good. So, so again, I appreciate you for accepting to talk about some of these things. And again, healwellnesslounge.com, right here in Tomball, Texas. Yeah, come check it out. It's definitely a sight to be seen. I tried out some of your things already.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome to try if you've got time. Let's get you on some more stuff.
alrighty, sounds great. All right, so that is
Thank
the
you,
end of the
Milton.
episode.
All right.
Absolutely. All right, we'll see y'all later.